Okay, as you can see, different location, different outfit, different day, but the story still continues. I don't want to sit here and only just talk about or celebrate me getting a job. I want me to break down exactly what I did throughout those months of me not having a job and would help me get here to landing a job in cybersecurity if you're trying to break into tech. Because from the outside looking in, people only see the good results. They see the LinkedIn posts, they see the new job title, they see you smiling on your profile like everything went perfectly. But they don't see the rejection emails. They don't see the financial pressure. They don't see the interviews going nowhere. They don't see the moments of you wondering if your degree is just a piece of paper hanging on your wall. And for me, being an international student added another level of pressure. I wasn't only looking for a job. My ability to remain in the US, yes, you hear me correctly, my ability to remain in the US was connected to me finding an employer. So while everybody else was saying, take your time, you'll figure it out, bro, immigration was knocking at my door like death on my deathbed. Throughout that process, there were things that generally helped me. Number one, I started positioning myself early. I'm glad I started early because networking becomes a lot more harder. When rent is due, every every conversation feels like, hey, pleasure to meet you. You can be a job. Real networking is not immediately asking someone for a job. I had to learn that the hard way. When I reach out to people on LinkedIn, I tried to learn about their roles. I would ask if they were open to a short call so I could understand what they did, how they entered the field, what skills mattered, and what advice they had for someone trying to follow in their footsteps. At the end of the conversation, I would ask, is there anybody else you think I should connect with to learn from? That question matters because one conversation can lead to another person, and that person can introduce you to someone else. You slowly start to build a network of people who know your name, understand your interests, and have seen your work in real time. Because sometimes when a role opens up, the recruiter automatically or the hiring manager know exactly who they want in that position. They already have someone in mind. And it's a lot easier to be considered or to consider someone if you've already spoken to them and they're just not a random person sitting in your inbox. Some conversations won't lead anywhere. Some people never respond. Some people might agree to call you and they disappear on you like my dad. But you have to keep building those relationships anyway. That's how I got the job that I have right now.
I'm leaving here with something.
Number two, I kept learning and building proof. You need something that shows that you can take what you learn and actually use it. For me, that meant building projects, working on labs, studying for certifications, and posting some of that progress on LinkedIn or on my webpage or on social media. I know Elon said posting on LinkedIn is cringe, but Elon is not paying your bills. Damn near RAM prices are through freaking roof. But to get back on topic, your projects does not need to be the most advanced thing ever created. You don't need to create the next SpaceX. I'm shitting on Elon Musk right now. You do not need to build the next CrowdStrike platform from your laptop on 4 gigabytes of RAM. Listen, chillax, bro. There's no magical project that's going to get you a job right away. I built projects improving SIM tools, network segmentation, endpoint detection, cloud security, and automation. So when I entered interviews, I did not only have definitions, I had a little bit of experience, and instead of only saying, oh yeah, I understand network segmentation, I was able to break down exactly how I set firewall rules, created the environment, and communicate exactly what I learned. I also treated every interview like I was preparing for the next certification exam, and the job description was my cheat sheet. Once I received the interview, I studied the company and broke down the job description. If the position mentioned Microsoft 365, endpoint security, or anything above, I practiced how I would investigate suspicious. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. I practiced exactly how I would study log in, malware alerts, multiple tickets, working with frustrated clients. Those type of things are important depending on the company and the job description and the role you're going for. The third thing that helped me was changing how I presented myself. At first, I had one big old broad, fat resume, and it had a little bit of everything: SOC work, cloud security, IAM, networking projects, internship labs.
Whoa, now you got too much dip on your chip.
The problem was that recruiters could see I had experience, but it was not always clear on where I fit. So I created 3 versions of my resume: focus on SOC analyst, second, identity and access management, and third, security engineering. I did not create fake experience. Recruiters just skim resumes really quickly. They're not going to sit down, light a candle, pour a glass of wine, and deeply analyze your resume like it's a Bible. You need to make important information easy to see. I used Overleaf because it helped me create simple and readable layout, but Overleaf itself can help with bypassing the ATS tracking system as well. So I've heard, but still, a bad resume can still be bad for Overleaf. So work on having a cleaner and better resume. I also used AI to help me remove any unnecessary wording, all the BS, make stronger bullet points. But AI should be something that helps you communicate real experience. Don't create experience out of thin air, because if they do a background check and you are not who you say you are, you're cooked. I know remote jobs are attractive. Moving to a different state is exciting, but everybody else wants that too. A cybersecurity position can be receiving multiple hundreds, thousands of applications, and you're going to get lost in that. But if you're going for something local, nearby, or somewhere that's in your area, that can work in your favor. Look at local MSPs, IT companies, universities, hospital, banks, manufacturers, government contractors, and smaller organizations. And understand it's okay to start small. All you need is your foot in the door. Your first job does not need to be 6 figures, cloud security role with unlimited vacations, free lunch, and a company Hellcat. Sometimes a smaller company gives you more opportunities to touch different technologies, work with many clients, solve real problems, and gain experience quickly. Starting small does not mean thinking small. Your first role is the beginning of your story, not the final chapter. Number four is personal for me. The fourth thing was keeping my faith. And this is probably the most personal part about my story. Within 3 weeks of me graduating, I felt like everything started going wrong all at the same time. I lost my car. I lost my student cybersecurity position, which also was like my main source of income. I was trying to cover rent, electricity, while watching my money that I'd saved. It just started slowly disappearing. Man, that car really got me. My immigration status, if I didn't find a qualified employer, I would have had to make a major decision whether I would have to go back to school and do my master's, which I was fully against, or letting my time run out and having to go back home. And so because of all of that, there was pressure coming from every direction: financial pressure, career pressure, immigration pressure, personal pressure. And I was just not going to sit down and just let life beat me up. There were days where I opened that rejection email and I just had to remind myself that laptops are expensive, so it's not worth breaking mine right now. But I kept moving. I continued applying. I continued networking. I continued studying. I continued improving my resume. And I continued preparing for interviews. And I continued having faith in God. For those who know me, listen, I'm a big believer in the man above. I could not see the results in that moment, but I knew I worked hard. I knew I had useful skills. I knew I gained real experience, and I believe that eventually somebody will give me the opportunity to prove that I can do it. You have to embrace the struggle. Not because the struggle is enjoyable. Nobody is looking at their bank account, seeing negative 200 and sitting there like, wow, this is great character development. But difficulty sometimes reveals how committed you are. It's easy to believe in yourself when everything is working how you want it. The real challenge is continue to show up when situations give you a reason to stop. So after 3 months of searching, applying, networking, preparing, getting rejected, rebuilding my confidence, and trying to not get deported because of the job market, I finally landed my role as a junior cybersecurity analyst. Continue learning, but be sure that the learning matches the path that or direction that you want to go in. The market might be bad. You might get ignored. You might get rejected. You might feel like your effort is going nowhere. But you need to remind yourself that you only need one real opportunity, one hiring manager, one recruiter, one team willing to let you prove yourself. Because once that opportunity finally comes, you want to be ready for it. I'm gonna see you boys. Y'all be safe. Peace.